My name is Steph. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to illustrate a very simple backpack, and I hope you really enjoy this video because you're going to learn lots and lots of new techniques in CorelDRAW. So, first of all, we are going to make a quick and simple sketch of a backpack on a sheet of paper. It doesn't matter whether or not you can draw, just start with something basic. When you're done, take a picture, drag into your phone, or copy into CorelDRAW, and then we are going to start editing around in CorelDRAW.
So I dragged in my sketch. I'm also going to select this alignment guides, and so when I drag things, it can align with my objects even though they are not like touching. You can see that. We are going to make this a little transparent, and to do that we come to this tool here, the transparency tool. I can drag the transparency down with this slide. So I want to make it around 50. I can even type in 50 myself. I'm going to press enter. So I want to lock it so it doesn't get selected. So I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle. That's F6 with the rectangle tool. So to get these curved edges, I'm going to select the shape tool or F10. Then I can drag down like this. But you see that it affects the bottom also, and I don't want that. I want to drag this down and also drag this down. It's like almost impossible to use this method to get the same radius for this side and this side. So what I want to do now, I'm going to undo. That's Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So I'm going to convert to curves. That's Ctrl Q. Or select this button. I can also then right click and say convert to curves. So when I convert to curves, I can now adjust each corner independently. Now I'm going to come to window, Dockers, and I'll select the corners. So when I select corners, it's going to pop up here. Now I can select these two areas. Instead of working with one, just one, or selecting the other, I can just highlight both, and any change I make here will affect both of them. So what I want to do is, I want to select these sides, and I can increase it here, or the faster way to do it is to position my cursor between these two arrows, so I can drag around there. Then I select apply, so it applies the curve to only these two areas. Then I can come here also, select these two, reduce it here. So it will be, I think this is perfect for it. So I apply that also. And I have my first shape. My second shape is also a rectangle. And that's this big boss. So I want the areas to have an equal curve, so I can just drag with the shape tool here. I also want another rectangle here, but I'll just duplicate this. So I'm holding the control key so that it's moving on a straight line. So I'm also going to right click to duplicate. So once I right click, you can see that plus sign under my cursor. It shows that it's going to duplicate that. So I can reduce the height by dragging this little angle there. So we have our second cross there. Now I want to draw this little side cross, and I'm just going to draw a small rectangle there. This is the cover of the post, and I'm going to draw the post itself. I'm going to draw a small water bottle here. And I'm going to draw the post. And I'm also going to draw a water bottle here. But to do the water bottle, I'll just draw a rectangle again. You're working with basically rectangles in this tutorial. So yeah, I want to put a handle here. I want to add the zippers. That's the zipper for that and the zipper for this. So now that I've gotten the zippers, let me right click, then unlock this image so I can remove the image. So I'll just draw a rectangle somewhere here. I'll add a strap later. I think I want to reduce this curve, something like that. And I want to give curves to this zipper. Give this also curve. I think I want to give curves to just this top part, so I'll convert to curves. Then select these two areas as I did earlier. Then using these arrows. I think that's too much. We just want a small curve at the top. Apply. Awesome. I want to give this just a slight curve here. So I don't need to convert to curve here. Just hold Control down and drag. Yeah, just a small little curve there. And I want to give this a slight curve also. I want this to look more realistic, so I'm going to convert to curves. That's Ctrl Q. So I'm going to double click this, then drag it in slightly. So it looks more like realistic. I'm also going to drag this in also. I have to convert to curves first, and I drag it in also. Awesome. So now I can even give this a curve. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to apply to that. I want to give this little part a curve also, but it should be way smaller. It's very small. So I'm going to apply that. Then also here, I want a little curve there. Apply. Beautiful. Now I want to color the bag. So I'm going to add colors to my document palette here using this eyedropper tool. I start with this. I also do this. So I'm going to start by giving this yellow. This is going to be the next used color. I want to give this in darker colors. If you are finding it difficult to select these lines, then maybe you should just come here and select treat all object as filled. That way you don't even need to select the outline, just tap in the object and it gets selected. So I want to use this color for it. I can even use this darker one here. So now we filled all our objects. I want to also give this very dark blue. Now I can give a little curvature to these edges like we did earlier. So I'm just going to hold Control and drag because I want it to just be at the end. Okay, so I want to make this a little thicker. And once I select, I can come up here, or I can open the properties panel. If your panel is not open, you can right click on this object and come to properties. So I can select the width I like. 4 is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to send this to the back and make it longer here. And I give it this blue. I want to remove the outlines from all the images. So I can select all, then I'll just right click on this first color well here. I can add it here. I want to rotate it a bit. I click once, I click again, then I can turn it around a bit. I want to make it smaller first. So I want to bring in this handle now. I just click once, then I can turn it around a bit. Just slightly. If I want to move this to the back, I can right click, then order, send to back of page. Just select to back of page. remove the outline also. I can also bring it here, duplicate, so I'm going to drop it there. I'm going to select this, that's mirror horizontally, and I can still drop it to the back again, order to back. I think it's too far out. Let me bring it in a bit. Okay, there we go, we have our backpack now. So I can add a background to it now by double clicking this rectangle tool. There we go. I want a color related to one of all these. I'm going to long click on one of them. So let me do it for this color. I hold down my mouse on it, and it gives me these different colors here. I'm still holding my mouse. I can select any one I like. I want to go for this very dark one there. So I think we have a spout here, and that spout is not colored. Let me give it this feel and give it some curvature too. I want to bring this down and make it go behind this shape. So I'm going to right click, come to order, then select behind. So when I select behind, I will have to use this little arrow that is showing here to click on this. This sense is behind that. Okay, so we have our backpack now, but I think this background is not working real well for us. So I want to change it to something based off this yellow. So I hold it still and click something here. I think that's too much. Let me work with this now. I think that's way better. I feel like I want to try another option, so I'm going to select all this, then drag, holding control. I'm just going to drag it, then duplicate it by right clicking. So I want to see what will happen if I give everything outlines, and I want the outline to be this color. I want it to be very, very obvious an outline. So let's see, about 1.5 or 2. I don't know, which one do you prefer, A or B? A is the one with outline, B is the one without outline. So this is the end of today's video, and if you actually enjoyed this video, a like and a sub to the channel will be amazing, and I hope to see you again in my next video.